And Jesus, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water, and lo, the heavens were opened unto him, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and lighting upon him. And lo, a voice from heaven saying, This is my Son, beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Matthew 3.16 and 3.17. I was drawn to this, literally, figuratively, because my daughter passed a comment the other day, like she randomly does, this being one of the only times in the Bible where the Trinity is present. Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and the voice of God. And I think well pleased can also mean like to find favour in and also acquiesce. Just to be extremely heretical just for a second, the idea of finding favour in, to me, suggests a choice as opposed to predestination. So perhaps this person has followed all of the way that's been prescribed, maybe followed all of the rites or said all the right things. And so that is why the Spirit chose to descend. I think there's also an element of being of a necessary bloodline, which I haven't quite got to the bottom of yet. So I can see a face here, in fact, a couple of faces. So it's interesting, the idea of the Trinity. And I've said before, I don't necessarily remember what I'm painting about when I'm painting. So I may write certain things on the back of 5 pieces of paper and then paint them all in a series, but not look at the back. I could even do it, turn it over and forget in that second. That's how crazy I am. So there's one of the first faces in pink with this little, it looks a bit like a hat dangling down right opposite his nose. And then there's these sort of patterns all in his cheek. Looks a little bit lizardish, I guess. Then these eyes at the very top, also in pink here, which I've said before isn't a colour that I use that often. So to me, this pink is speaking of softness and is also reminding me of flesh. And then here, so what I said before was like the peak of a cap, could actually be the chin of another person, but there's a nose above. I can't quite say that there's an eye there, but there's something that looks like a seesaw, like a boat almost, 2 figures on one side, 2 figures up in the air on the other. Turned around, I can see that like 2 figures again, one with like a pointed hat on down towards the bottom, possibly 2 more faces, but at least one here on turned around this way in purple. Maybe an animal here, reminding me of the donkey from Shrek for some reason. A character here in pink with big lips, maybe riding on a shell. And then another face here in pink looking off to the left. Thanks for listening.